Right, hey guys, IMSA Michelin Pilot challenge this week from Virginia International Raceway has been an absolute nightmare from beginning to end. I've had multiple PC crashes and a lot of chaos on track has cost me, like the thumbnail suggested, about 500 iRating. We've clawed a little bit back in this race and the one previously. Now, although this race isn't the best in terms of battling and stuff going on track, if you're new to iRacing, if you're a beginner, or if you're an intermediate sort of level iRacer, which is what I pitch this sort of channel at, my channel, then hopefully you'll be able to take some value from this video, because in it I manage the race very well. I look after the car, I keep it out of trouble. There's a few issues with some back markers and some potential banana skins that could trip me up, and we avoid it well. So yeah, if you are getting frustrated by getting taken out and wondering if there's anything you can do wrong, maybe you'll take some value from this. So let's get into it. Right, welcome back then, guys, to a very misty Virginia International Raceway. Qualified on pole, car number 8. The cars in my class have a lower car number, so not sure how much iRating will gain. But yeah, very tricky conditions. So we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully this one will make it to the YouTube channel. It's been touch and go with the PC, crashing quite a lot. I've done a bit of research, and a lot of the potential freezes and crashes point towards overclocking on your GPU, I believe. I don't know, I'm not that great with computers. But I had MSI Afterburner installed anyway, opened it up, and my core clock and a memory clock were both set to plus 100, which I believe is overclocking. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. So I've rolled them back to 0, so I'm assuming that is just everything sort of...
Is 18 Celsius. The air temp is 18 Celsius.
Sort of factory standard, I would imagine. I've not had any crashes since. Touch wood. We've switched from Streamlabs to OBS.
Position behind Romero in the right lane.
As I've been advised, it's slightly more CPU friendly. So we'll just see. We'll just see what happens. I'm going to leave a bit of a gap to these guys.
Need to catch up to Romero.
I'll leave about a 10-second gap here, guys, and then we'll go. So we're just looking to finish the race, basically, without freezing and crashing out. Hopefully positive iRating, hopefully positive safety rating. But we'll see. When I've looked at MSI Afterburner after the practice sessions, after the races, obviously it gives you a readout of the GPU temperature and amongst other things. But I believe it was the GPU that was causing the freezing and crashing. But I don't know for certain, but that's what I believe it to be. And it was approaching 100%. Which is obviously not good. So I've dialed down some of the graphics settings in-game. You don't really notice much different in the VR anyway. It doesn't look that good regardless of your settings. Some things will make it look nicer than others, but it's no great loss to dial it back a little bit if you're having similar issues. I think it is quite a common problem if you look on the forums. The freezing and crashing does seem to be quite a common occurrence within iRacing, so that's where I got the heads up about the overclocking. So we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, very misty, tricky conditions for qualifying. Cold, but difficult to see. So the pole sitter in the GT4 has actually gone quicker than I've seen anyone go. He got into the 54s. My pole time was 6/10 slower than my best. Right, guys, I'm going to slow this right up and let these GT4s get ahead. So we'll just hold it here until we go green, give ourselves a nice gap. Also, I don't know if having many things going on the circuit at once, crashes and all that sort of thing, physical crashes in the game, cause problems graphically, and then obviously causes it to freeze up. It has happened occasionally where it's been when there's been a crash on track and we've froze. Hopefully we don't see that dreaded egg timer and we can have a good little race. Worth noting though, as much as I like this track, and I do like this track,
Okay, Duncan, nice and neat, stay out of trouble.
I'm aware, as much as I like it,
Go, go, go.
I've lost 500 iRating. Now, to be fair, part of that is because of the freezing. Most of it's because of the freezing, to be fair. But it is a track that does sort of lead itself to a lot of carnage, a lot of contact.
Please.
So there's no yellow flag, but there was somebody complaining already.
Nice start.
So yeah, like I said, tricky conditions. Just going to ease it in. I don't want to push too much on the cold tyres. Don't really think I need to either. Got a nice gap. Caught them sleeping at the start, which is quite common around here. I don't know if people just wait for it to go green, but if I see the pole sitter go, then I'm straight after him. So this is a bit that I found the most tricky, like visibility wise.
You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 2.1 seconds.
So it takes me back to my early days of racing. I'm not going to call it sim racing. Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge on the Amiga. There was a level called Pea Soup, and it was pretty much like this. Similar graphics actually. All the ACC fans are like that one. I've got nothing to compare it to. I don't play ACC. I know it does look good, but not for me. So it was my first time on this circuit this week. Never played it before, never raced on it. Downloaded it on the Tuesday, I believe, and I thought against it. I thought there's no point. I thought I don't know the circuit, it's going to take me a while to learn it. Watched the Pure Driving School lap, seen the times they were doing. I think they were in the 57s, high 57s. Now normally in this car I can get somewhere near the Pure Driving School benchmark, and I jumped on this circuit and I was 4 seconds off, and I just thought there's no way. Anyway, I persevered, learnt the track, and I've got to say I really enjoy it now. Classic British touring car circuit, really. I know it's not a British touring car circuit, but that's what it reminds me of. Like your Knockhills and your Snettertons. I even go as far as say Cadwell Park. But yeah, great little circuit. Some great opportunities to pass as well, obviously with this massive straight. But yeah, it's a killer, it's an iRating killer. Nearly every incident I've had has been with the GT4s. It's not been with anyone in the touring car class. It's been with slower GT4s. So we were very close to 3k iRating. I've never been that high. I was 2968, I believe, before the start of this week. And I thought, do I just wait for Laguna Seca the following week? But I love driving this car so much, I just couldn't resist.
Time was at 2:00.1 seconds.
And I actually thought, and rightly so, that a lot of people, a lot of the top guys will be giving this one a miss. And they have. I've not seen the lads that I normally see in the lobbies. I've not seen them this week. Right, we'll see how this guy's going to rejoin, if he's going to be silly. Clear of him anyway. So, Nicholas, who I've raced a few times at Detroit and previous circuits, I've not seen him this week, and he's been in every race previously on the other weeks that I've seen. I think he's actually sitting P3 in the championship. Nicholas Merjos, I think he's called. He's a good guy, good racer. But we've not seen him this week. And sensibly so we'll be using this as one of his drop weeks.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 4.9 seconds.
But it has made me think, see, I've beat Nicholas quite a few times on track. Pace-wise, we're quite similar, but towards the end of the races, I have better luck with the tyres, I think. And it's made me think I should be taking these championships much more seriously. It's one of the few cars on iRacing that I do have pace with. And if I can comfortably race and even beat the guy who's sitting P3 in the championship, then I should be thinking about it from week 1. I think I jumped into this at week 6 this season. So next season, I'll be having a look to get involved with that one, I think. So high 59s for the lap times then, just comfortable, don't need a push, gaps increased behind, we're comfortable in position. So if you're watching the video, if you're not already subscribed, if you want to consider clicking the subscribe button, I believe it's over there in the corner, I'd really appreciate it. If you're new to sim racing and you're not quite sure whether to get involved or not, it's an expensive hobby. I'm giving away all my old equipment, all my Thrustmaster gear. There's a video somewhere, you'll be able to find it if you search hard enough. So it's a TX458 wheelbase, the Ferrari rim, the little 488 Ferrari rim that comes with it, or 458, whatever it is, and then the GTE rim add-on, which is a decent wheel, and then the original pedal plate, 2-pedal base. So that's all up for grabs via a competition I'm doing. Just trying to hit 500 subscribers really. The channel's fairly new. The equipment doesn't owe me anything, so I'm happy to sit on it and wait until I hit the 500 subscriber mark. I could have sold it through lockdown probably for 3 times what I paid for it, the way things were going, but I'd rather somebody got it for free. It is an expensive hobby, sim racing, and some people just can't get into it due to the lack of funding and the budget and stuff. So you need a pretty solid PC to run these things as well, so the whole thing racks up into the thousands before you're even on track. And with iRacing, well, you know what it's like. Very expensive. So that's the whole thought process behind giving the equipment away anyway, just to help someone out if I can. And I'm considering this next one's going to be difficult due to shipping. but I'm hoping to upgrade to a P1X sometime in the near future, and when I do, I'm considering giving away this rig, which is a GT Omega Pro with an RS6 seat, I believe. Decent little rig. It's my second, not of the same brand, but my second rig. I think I had an FK something rig, was my first one. Very small. I struggled to get in it. I'm only 5'10". I struggled with that one. Then onto this one, and then the next one.
Just keep hitting your marks. This is looking good. That's 20 minutes to go.
The next one will be my forever rig. And once I get that P1X, that should be it. I know we're never finished in this game, but the chassis of the rig will at least be completed once I get that P1X. So yeah, shipping wise, I've said with the Thrustmaster I'll ship it anywhere in the world and I'll cover the costs if I hit 500 subs. That was my stipulation. With the GT Omega Cockpit, I may not be able to offer the same.
6.7. All through sectors are pretty quick.
I would like to, but it's a heavy old unit if I've got to ship it. So I'm sure I can work something out with whoever wins it, or maybe do something a little bit different to give that one away. I'll sell it if I have to, but again, I would rather just give it away to help someone out. So I would like to upgrade to the Husingveld pedals eventually. I've got the Simucube2 Pro wheelbase at the moment. Problem ahead. So I don't want to risk binning it here. I don't want to push too hard to get past him. At the same time, I don't want to lose my position. Strange place to let me go, but he's let me go nonetheless. Thanks 14, thank you. So he's a lap down anyway. So we've lost a second to Gordon, but I think we're alright. So here we go again. There's some issues ahead. He's probably gone off track, I would have thought here. So just watch the rejoins. Just checking the surroundings. I'm not sure where they might come on. If it was just the one guy, we've passed him, but you never know. So I have learned from my mistakes with that sort of thing, trying to foot down through yellow flags and trying to extend the gaps. Even when I'm in P1 like this, even when I'm comfortable in the lead, I've still kept my foot in it, and just really unnecessary risk taking and foolish driving. So the gap to Simon, oh dear, nearly a little bit out of shape. The gap to Simon is 9.8 seconds, so obviously I lost a second getting past him, but he's lost what looks like 3 to 4 seconds getting past himself. So, and that's even, I don't even think he was behind me. I think Gordon was behind me at the time, so Gordon's 19 seconds behind me now. So think of the bigger picture. If I was to lose this race, or lose iRating in this race for anything other than a disconnect, it would be a very bad result, I think. So let me know what you think of the new layout, I suppose, of OBS. It does look a little bit different. It's a bit more stripped back. There's no fancy looking webcam border or anything like that. I've disconnected the webcam from my pedals. Reason for that is in the never-ending search for wondering why my computer was crashing. One of our CXR bosses told me, CXR is the racing team, by the way, that I'm part of, that it was to do with the USB hub running LED lights which light up the pedals. So I've disconnected them just to be on the safe side. So it's not so much that I can't have the webcam on, it's just you can't really see what I'm doing because there's no lighting on it. Not that it matters. You can see my inputs on the little thing from RaceLab.
Okay, Duncan, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes. That's half distance. Fuel levels are fine. The gap to Mason behind is now 10 seconds.
So after the crashes, I updated all my drivers, done a new graphics configuration on iRacing, and then jumped into a session. And when I jumped in, the settings that iRacing gives me is normally a little bit too powerful. It says I can run them like that. I don't really risk it, and I ramp them all down. But when I ran it for a few laps, it looked absolutely unbelievable. Sun breaking through the trees and stuff. Just looked amazing. But yeah, like I say, not necessary. Ramped them all down. Don't need the risk of the GPU overheating or whatever it is. Well, so far so good. If you haven't seen the new livery on this car, check out my last video. So it's Tam Liveries who's created this for me. So great guy, he's been really helpful.
Sector 2 is 0.28 off the pace.
It's actually helped me a lot with the issues I've got with crashing as well. We've been chatting back and forward a little bit for various different things, and we got on the subject of that, and he's helped me out with that. Recommended me switching to OBS from Streamlabs, which we've now done. So yeah, hence the slightly different layout, but I believe the output is a little bit better now. I'm able to output 1080p. Streamlabs I was 720p. Whether it makes a difference or not, I don't know if I'm only outputting the VR anyway, but just something I noticed. So Brian ahead then seems to be in a bit of trouble, quite slow on track, so again we'll just be sensible, avoid any potential banana skins. So a 12-second gap to Simon. Be about 10 minutes left, I would have thought. Bit bouncy through there.
Faster class car approaching. Sector 2 is 0.5 off the pace.
So, don't know if these two have come together.
The gap to Mason behind is increasing. It's now
I'm not sure if Brian's got a bit of damage, but they're quite close. I don't really want to slow Brian down if he's got the potential to battle with Marco ahead. I'd be annoyed if somebody affected my racing that way when they weren't racing anyone. I've said it a few times myself, when you've got the GT4 guys and they're not racing anyone and they're getting in your way when you're in a battle for a podium or race win, I'm the first one to call them out for it, so I'm not going to get involved here. But GT4 drivers are the worst on iRacing, I'm telling you now.
10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
Shockingly bad. So I'd imagine they'll say the same about the touring car drivers. LMPs are up there as well. Like, let us know in the comments your worst kind. Who's affected you more than any other? I think GTs are the one for me, like, but the LMPs are up there. When you're in a ILMS race or something, they do tend to just wipe you out coming through, bulldozing the way through the field. Animals, absolute animals. Don't worry about me here, Brian. I'm not going to get involved, mate. You just hunt him down. So the gap's still comfortable to Simon. I'm not losing any time behind Brian here. Actually get much better tow down here if you stop behind one of them for a while, but as long as they're not slowing you down through the twisty stuff, which he isn't really, to be honest. He's not affecting me that much. What I can't get my head around though, I know Virginia International Raceway is not the most popular of tracks, despite it being a great place to race. But why is there so few people in the IMSA Michelin Pilot series? What are your thoughts on that? Is it because it's rough and there's a lot of contact?
Alright, Duncan, that's good consistency. Keep it up.
Is it because the gap between the multi-classes aren't quite big enough? I'm not sure. All I know is that in here I've experienced the best racing I've ever had on iRacing, racing these touring cars. I'm not a big fan of the Cayman and the BMW. I've done very little in that class, but I absolutely love the way this thing drives. I'd like to see more touring cars added. Hopefully so we can have our own series, would be nice. No multi-class. I would like to see pit stops as well. Tyre wear does come into it quite a lot in this, with it being front wheel drive, and front wheels doing everything. It does tend to struggle towards the end of a race. It was most apparent at Barcelona, where you had a full 45-minute race, which was great. I loved it. No pit stop in it, so just a sprint race, but the tyres dropped off after about 20-25 minutes. But yeah, there's definitely potential for to be a great series. I just don't know why there's not so many people in it. It doesn't seem that chaotic. Is he in the pits? Compared to the VRS GT Sprint, for example, or the IMSA series, it doesn't seem that bad or much worse than them, but maybe it's just the cars, maybe people don't like it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts.
Come on, Duncan, just 5 minutes left. Hold your nerve, we can win this.
I'd hope so, Jim.
Voy por dentro.
Sure, if this guy's got a problem, he's a lap down. He's let the other guy in front go. So again, we'll give him plenty of space. See if he knows we're here first, because, like I said, conditions are tricky. Oh, that's not the greatest of places. Thanks, Gregory. Thank you. Yeah, it was a dodgy one. Dodgy place to let me go, but he let me go all the same. I appreciate it. And here's me saying how bad the GT4 drivers are. So there is exceptions to the rule, always. Yeah, so with the P1X then, when it comes, there will be a couple of other upgrades. Let me know what you think I need in order to make the content a little bit better. Appreciate a little bit of feedback. So people talk about lighting and microphones and the audio being a big deal. So I've got a few ideas of the stuff that I would like. Not crazy, I'm not going to break the bank with anything. But I am moving from VR to ultra wide, I believe. That's the plan at the moment anyway. Or triples, I'm back and forward, ultra wide and triples all the time. But I've been told that triples aren't the best if you're planning on streaming your races or recording your races. Ultra wide's a little bit more friendly as an all-rounder for editing and stuff as well, so so far we're going P1X. I'm not sure whether to get a SimLab seat or whether to splash out on something a little bit nicer. Nothing against the SimLab seats, but I do like the Sparko seats. I think it's a Sparko Circuit is the one I've got my eye on, but we'll see. So it's whether I get a standalone mic or like a broadcasting set of headphones with a mic, and the quality wise they seem decent enough.
What are you doing?
And like I say, the Husingveld, I think I'm saying that right, pedals are on the list, but it depends how much the rest of it costs me. I'd like to upgrade my graphics card as well. So let me know what you think. What would be the top of your list? The P1X chassis is without doubt the top of the list, and then the ultra wide, they go without saying, right? So they're a given. So if it was you and you were putting things together for a new rig build, what would be the next? What would be next on your list, basically? Would it be a new card? Would it be lighting? Would it be microphone? Would it be the pedals? I'm back and forward with it all the time. I know the pedals are going to improve my lap times. That's kind of one of the big things to sway my decision towards them, but they're not going to make the output of the streams any better. They're not going to make my content any better by having some fancy pedals, whereas a microphone and lighting would. So, you know, difficult decision. So yeah, let me know what you would recommend. I've got the leader of the race 11 seconds behind me, so we should be okay to finish ahead of him. They're about 3 seconds quicker than me. I could have just slowed down there for 9 seconds, let him pass me, and then that'd be the end of the race.
Come on, Duncan. One more lap. Keep it together. We'll win this.
So that'll be everybody behind me finished. Yeah, pace car's out behind me, so that's it for the touring car class. I've still got to finish this lap. Where's he going? He's turning away, is he? Glad he got out of that. I think he was going to come back on and then got out of it. Oh, nearly. Too busy watching my mirrors. Thanks for waiting there, Richard. Appreciate it.
Just 2 minutes left. 2 minutes to go.
Alright, I don't want to jump the gun or anything, but I think we've survived. Naughty little bit of oversteer there. It looks like the computer's held up. Oh, nearly. I think I'm 0x here, so that wouldn't have been good to bin it on the last corner. I think I am anyway, I'm not sure. Soon find out.
That's a win. Great job. Well done.
Cheers, Jim, lad. Couldn't have done it without you. So, yeah, here's the new livery then from Tam Liveries. So yeah, really pleased with it. Like I say, I've mentioned this in a video, but if you haven't seen that one and you're watching this one, then you can have a cheeky peek. So Steelriversounds logo on there, fade from grey to black, and the red detailing. Yeah, really pleased with it. Really pleased with it. So Tam did the logo for me as well, so you pay the ultimate package cost and then cost on top for the logo if you're interested in doing something similar. So yeah, there we go. Let's check then. Yeah, 0x, so we're happy with that. We'll jump out of here, we'll save that replay. This one's going to make its way to YouTube.